We are having sort of a split fight. They are split between the dragon and the fight. They should just take the fight.
Did they know the Twitch is here? Twitch is going to spray and pray. Think he's going to be able to kill the Mordekaiser. Surely? Dead. Nice, there it happens.
Brazil
oh, look where the Twitch is. Look where he is, though. He's going to kill this Ari easily. They just don't know he's there.
Killing off screen.
Yeah, for real. It's going to go down. Mel here, Caitlyn doing the rest of the fight. But again, the Twitch comes from nowhere. He's crazy.
For the side, we're not going to see J4 go right in. The ult comes up, the Cataclysm comes out. They're all fighting in the middle. Not as caught in the trunk somehow. The Superman Deathhawker does come out and then I'm getting knocked back. However, Olaf is on that backline, taking a lot of damage. Sevilla will fall, Jinx will fall. But this Olaf, he's taking them all back.
He just want to be for them. Okay, naturally, I guess.
Safety. Jinx is on the other side of this wall. If they can keep, I was gonna say, if they can keep him safe. Okay, he went hella aggressive there. He's gonna get 2 kills. He's gonna go for the 3rd kill. He's gonna go for the 4th kill. Help the best stole his Penta. Quadra kill here for Cookie. To be fine here. Meanwhile, Zeus is gonna be fighting Svaros on the top side, and that's gonna be a no! Victor stole the Nash.
Oh my god. But the difference between it's not going to be enough because he comes back around for the drive-by. Bloody, that's going to be a hell of a clip.
It's, you know, it's like it's more of a rare occasion if it does happen. Just like a 3-man Bard ult coming out. Holy moly, in goes Mila as well. Look at the 4-man pull. Holy moly, the cutters are absolutely getting slaughtered and getting sent to the butchers. Clean ace.
Below on gold, it's going to be really hard for you to do the Baron here. Shreds your resistances. And we see 5DK are wrapping around. They're going to have to leave it, but it's on 3K. That means 5DK can just start it. It's very close to being stolen. They're going to just take this. Red team do get it. That's so unfortunate. And now the team fight begins. And JP's in the wrong place. He's going to get collapsed on. What can they even do here? Quay's got to run. Sejuani just going to watch his AP carry get popped. And he just has to run behind the turret and pray.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the MiniLCS Winter Open 2026, the awards ceremony.
We've been gone for just long enough that the hair's starting to grow back.
Ooh.
Give it time. I got an inch. I got an inch going.
No, but you know what? I like the shaven head look, man. It looks good.
It's all right. There's a. Funnily enough, it somehow made me less paranoid about the receding hairline. You know, like with the hair long, all of the white hair makes it look like the hairline is like way back. Whereas like now with the shorter hair, it's much easier to see where there's no hair or hair. You know, it doesn't matter if it's white. I can still see it. It's bristly. It's like I got a brush on my head. It was kind of nice. It's been the longest time since I've had it, but you know, here we are. Day 1 inch. Hey yo.
Yo.
Hey, yo. Crazy.
1 inch of what?
It's a good question.
Ooh.
1 inch is all you need. By the way, can see 3 different screens on the. Shit! They're seeing the Gunopticon right now through your sunglasses, Aaron.
Ooh.
You gotta hide that shit. you need to get tinted glasses or something to hide. But all right. Anyway. Damn, it's already 7:40. We have a few awards to get through for you guys. Obviously, we know. Aaron, do you have the stats to your head of how many games there were this season? Because I don't. I know you got me to get all that data for you for something for finals, and then it escaped me. But you know, I know we had 207 players. I know we had 39 teams. I know we had a 22-team bracket in Hardstuck this season, which is nearly as many teams as we had in summer of 25. So there are a lot of things to get through, but I wanna give you guys a word of warning now that the list of accolades this season is a little bit smaller, just because there was so much more data to wrangle. So we've cut some of the more kind of let's call them like less evocative awards, like, you know, like I remember the last time we had like Dragon Collector or something, where the team or the player jungler who had the most dragons collected per game on average, we dropped that one. We dropped some of the lesser cool ones, you know, but like we still have all the big ones, and at the end of it we still have all pro as well, so you know, I'm sure we're excited to see that. Also, after we finish up today, we're probably gonna make let me get this out of the way now, quick time. Some of you people, wait, I'm looking at the mic. Some of you people with your votes for these MVP ballots, I'm making the ballots public so people can be named and shamed. I don't give a fuck. Like, after this stream, I'm gonna post the entire ballot and show, firstly, the people who are so dumb that they just accidentally vote for their own team, even though expressly said, do not vote for yourself, do not vote for your team. Somehow people still did it, which is impressive. And then secondly, some of the questionable votes that came in. But you know what? Let's talk about some.
Well, I do have stats.
Oh, so, you do have stats?
Yeah. So for everyone, okay, this doesn't include the last finals, however.
Okay.
But in total, we had 7,661 kills. We had 7,663 deaths. You know, that's basically 50-50 right there. And then
how many of them were tubers?
Yeah. And then we had 12,772 assists, and now that is split off across a total of 222 games, right? And that's 159 games in the group stage and 63 games in the playoffs. Hardstock Heroes, of course, had the most games in the group stages with a total of 82 games, followed up by the Sweat Lords bracket, which was 47 games in the group stages, and then of course the Weenie Huts, which had 30 games in the group stages. This has been a big tournament, the biggest for us. It just keeps growing. We love it. Thank you very much for that. And yeah, we'll get onto the awards off all of this chaotic game called League of Legends.
Hell yeah. Wait, audio desynced or am I tripping? That's a good question. I can't really. Is audio desynced?
Audio desynced with me. Don't worry, that will be sorted.
Not with me, just with you. Okay.
Yes, this is
no
an
stress,
AI.
no stress.
This is all fake.
Hell yeah. It's that sounds like more effort than it would probably be worth, I'm not gonna lie. But
there you go.
Either way, is sorted now? Yeah? I was gonna say the mic sound different.
It's sorted now. The only issue is I can hear myself, so I need to.
We don't like that. It's like echolalia.
There you go.
All right. Anyway, shall we get into the first of our? Let me double check. I had a list. We have 23 awards to get through today. So should we get to the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. Well, keeping it short and sweet. The first award is the shortest game wins. So this one will be and we're gonna have every award, unlike last season where we just did one award for whoever was the best of the 3 brackets. This time we're awarding one per bracket. So there'll be shortest game award win for Weenie Hut, for Hardstuck, for Sweatlord even. Words are hard. So yeah, this one is who were able to finish it out in the quickest time. We're gonna have to see whether or not, I believe the all-time record is currently being held by Hypes' camp. So last season they had 19 minutes and 57 seconds. So without further ado, Aaron, when you're ready, drop the thing. We can see who is. Any favorites we think? Oh, there we go. Shortest game win. So congratulations to, in the Weenie Hut bracket, Vicky Mendoza, who got their shortest win of the season at 23 minutes and 45 through an FF vote, might I add, against Team Zenith. This was, I believe, game 3 of playoffs in quarterfinals. So they they were able to get that in no short order. And I know Tuba's probably molding in the chat right now, thinking about his team FFing while he wasn't in play. But unlucky. It still gave Vicky Mendoza the first of what I'm going to spoiler alert is quite a few awards for top 2 finish. In Hardstuck, we have the Hardstuck champions group support group who actually got theirs in game 2 of grand finals against Good Chimps. They were able to finish out game 2 in 22 minutes, which is the if you want an overall winner for this season, Grom support group there with 22 minutes do get it, although they don't break the all-time record. They are about 2 minutes and 3 seconds off, and then Team Zib, who are the spiritual successors to Hypes' camp, kind of keep the theme going here by having the Sweatlord lowest or shortest game win at 22.5 minutes against Goon City. That one was in quarterfinals game 2 as well. So congratulations to the 3 of you, or the 3 teams, I should say the 15 of you technically. And yeah, although not gonna break the all-time record just yet, so we'll have to see whether or not they can come back in summer. I have been told the game is supposed to be speeding up, but we gotta remember the last tournament was played on the Noxus patch, where you had stuff like Atakan, and there was the feats of warfare and whatnot, or feats of strength I think it was called. So the game faster then, or is it faster now? I don't really know. So it's an interesting thing to think about.
This is a quick request from anyone that actually knows me. If you can get me a clapping sound effect and a drum roll sound effect real quick on Discord, I'll add that in. But anyways, let's get on to the longest game.
That could be a good shout. Yeah, longest game. So this is opposite to the shortest game here. Who takes the longest time to actually get one done? The current award is being held by 010 Power Spike, who, oh gosh, who were they against? It was like 010 Power Spike against, that's gonna win away be that I can't remember, but I know that the number was 46 minutes and 38 seconds. But we had some long ass games in this tournament though, I'm not gonna lie. Some of those multi, we had way more best of 3s go to 3 games this season. We had way more, I think nearly every best of 5 went more than 3, right? The only 3-0 I can think of off the top of my head was Hardstuck Finals. And Latitude and Perplex Express was also a 3-0, but that's two best of 5s out of I think 6 or 7 I think. Oh hell no, look what I've done by mistake.
Why did you
my baker. But yeah, do you think Weenie Hut gets this one? Or I know you would think, right? Weenie Hut, generally speaking, lower tier players, probably gonna take longer to round out the game, right?
Yeah.
Let's see what the chat's saying. Oh, the chat's just saying 6-7. But many mistakes have been made. Yeah, no, you're right. Uguay is right. It was 010 Power Spike, his old team. But yeah, right. Without further ado, hit the drum roll again. I don't even know if my mic picks that up. My mic just look weird. Boom, there we go. Is that Aaron's team getting an award in the Big 2-6?
Get in.
Holy! Let's
Did we even win that game?
Yes, that's why it shows your team. It's the team that won the game that gets the award. So for Weenie Hut Junior Bracket, Dagestonian Death Squad, game 2 against Rift Police, if I remember correctly, was a very, very bloody affair at 44 minutes and 10 seconds. And then for the... I'm gonna ignore that Hardstuck one, like it has nothing to do with me. Yeah, I don't know what that is, bro. For amateurs, and this was game 2 of quarterfinals, by the way. One of a few teams there to take a game off of Latitude in the playoffs bracket. They were able to take game 2 because of very, very good. It was, I can't even remember. I think they had Aurelion Soul or something, and it was up against like Rise. And so they just got to outscale. They got to a point where their team comp outranged Latitude. So it didn't matter that they lost early. and they were able to drag the game out for long enough. They took enough good fights, and they were able to bring it back. It obviously didn't change the overall result. They did still drop out at 5th to 8th place, but you know, at least they get the prize here of having longest game win. And then in Hardstuck, unfortunately, the deciding game between Diamond Esports and Fruit Maxers in week 3 of Group B, 47 minutes and 3 seconds. It took Fruit Maxers to finally finish us off. It was a disgustingly nasty little flank from Z-Man on Twitch that kind of shut that game down. They won early, and then we brought it back in the mid to late, and then we got caught by one disgusting Twitch angle. Guy fucking snuck around our top inhibitor. No one has spots for like wards in their inventory anymore, and he just sees it fucking behind us, cooked. We got smoked. 47 minutes and 3 seconds was the new record there, so they do beat 010 Power Spike's record set last season. And so that is Fruit Maxers here with the all-time longest game win record going forward. And I can see apparently Josh has sent the sound effect over. Holy.
Yeah, no, Tuba sent me a drum roll. Josh has sent me some claps.
Hell yeah. Let's go. Oh wait, shit. Who subbed? I'm tripping. What is it? Oh shit. Thank you, Uguay, for the sub. We appreciate you. But yeah, that's longest game win there. A little bit of a trauma response for me, unfortunately, but at least Aaron got something. We take those.
Yeah,
we take those. Yeah, nice. I believe you're playing Cho'Gath in that one. I think your Cho'Gath actually has quite a good win rate. It's like 60% or something in officials. So he's cooking. He's cooking. For sure. And then if we move over to the third award we have here, so we're moving out of the times of the games. Now we'll talk about the kills. So we're gonna have the next double barrel is gonna be cleanest game and bloodiest game. So we're gonna start off with the cleanest game. So this is gonna be, you know, the teams that are able to get it done with the least bloodshed possible. Currently the record is 21 kills in a game, which was back in Winter Open of 2025. It was Fated Ashes against Cutter's Cuties. So I don't know if you can remember that one, but yeah, in January of last year, we watched Cutter's Cuties beat our current champions in round 1, and then in round 2 they lost to this team that no one had seen any of the players from. And it was a 2-0 based purely on, if I remember correctly, like some very cringy split pushing Tryndamere mid. But you know what? If it works, don't knock it, right? It worked in their instance. It's got them, you know, a little bit of the long-term haul here. They placed 3rd overall in that tournament, and they have this record here of the cleanest kill, or cleanest game, I should say. But what about this season, right? How low do we think it goes this season? That is the question. And who do we think's winning it? You know, who is the cleanest of all of our teams in all of our brackets?
I believe I have the drum already.
Oh, he has a drum already. All right, go for it.
See if this works.
3. Hey. That's a long ass drum roll, bro.
But I need to shorten that down now.
Oh, it's still going. It's still going. What the hell?
I need to stop it. There we go. There we go.
That is... How long is that? Is that like 45 seconds or something? God damn. Oh no, these sound effects are troll, bro. These sound effects are troll. Holy fuck.
I swear this is like the exact same clapping sound effect that I have, which is clapping cheeks, not applause.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was as well there. I was like, you know, that's not an applause right there. Well, if it is, it's a real slow one. But anyway, enough about the sound effects. Let's talk about the games. Cleanest game win here. If we look at the Weenie Hut Junior bracket, our cleanest game win award is going to Church of Copium Kings, who were able to finish game 3 of week, I believe this was week 2, against Outcasts with 20 kills. So that was actually an award breaker, and it would have been the new award if not for something we'll talk about in a little bit. Good Chimps up against McMoody's Mandem were able to lock out their quarterfinals with 21 kills. So this game, I don't know if you guys remember, was ridiculous because of those 21 kills, most of them are actually on McMoody's. They were winning the game. They were like 4K up. They take one bad Baron and they lost the entire game off of an ace at Baron at 25 minutes. And Good Chimps, for my money, they were one of the most coordinated teams. Like, I don't think that they were mechanically insane for most of their players. I think their jungler and their mid laner were probably the most mechanically talented of the two. But like, their actual coordination was probably some of the best we've seen in Hardstock, and you know, it kind of shows here in the award. And then last but not least, on what is supposed to be their last dance, of course, Cutters Cuties have to set a new record for cleanest game up against Zig7, who I believe after this game, after that series, they ended up dropping out of the event. So I don't know if that's indicative of how the game actually went, but they did finish it out with just 19 kills in total. So that is the new record. You know, they go from having been beaten in the previous record to be the people beating in the new record there. 19 kills total for cleanest game win. Congratulations to the Cutters Cuties and Good Chimps and Church of Copium Kings. I hit the, I don't know if the clapping's coming through. If I've got like a noise gate or something.
Yeah, it's coming through. All right, cool. Nice.
But yeah, sweet. So on the other side of things, we've got the bloodiest game. So this is for the teams that cannot finish games to save their lives. Let's put it that way. They like the 5v5s. They like to take the games long, and they like to take the games real hard. And it's gonna be an interesting one. Let me quickly get up the current.
Whilst you get that up, shout out to Synthet for the sub.
Oh my god. Holy shit, Synthet got hacked today. I got sent a very interesting DM about a Mr. Beast charity crypto thing. I was like, yo, that's so cool. And then it turned out to not be real, unfortunate. But yeah, all right. So yeah, the current record is actually 88 kills, and it is held by 2 separate games across 2 separate tournaments. So the first of which, again, for the people who have been here for a while, you might remember the lovely video that Eunice was able to make for us for the Pakara Brala and Ekin's bloodiest and longest game, where he did it to, I cannot remember what the song is. It is a classical song. It was very good. It was very fun. Oh, yeah, and then in summer of 25, Spiky Balls Gaming were able to match that by getting 88 kills in a game 2 against Pornhub in the losers bracket. So 88 is the benchmark. We're gonna have to see whether or not any of these teams can do it. Drum roll, maybe. I don't know if the drum roll's too long. Maybe we don't. I don't know. There's only a certain amount of suspense one needs. You know, too much suspense is a dangerous thing. Hey, there we go. Congratulations to Team Zenith, who are the bloodiest game winner against Rift Police. Who, you know, I had a really funny bit I wanted to do about Rift Police. I was gonna, like, anytime they got mentioned and if they won any awards, I was gonna not put their logo, and I was gonna put like redacted and like in the Rift files or something. But I didn't have the energy, and they won no awards, so it was kind of unfortunate there. But yeah, Team Zenith, I believe this was their game 2 against Rift Police. They had a very long-winded game that came out at 81 kills, but they were able to take the win, even if they didn't win the entire series. But it doesn't matter. They won bloodiest game win. They take those. And then for Hardstuck, we have Aberdeen Clearing, who they 87 kills, so 1 off of the record in Hardstuck here. They beat Blue Bearded Man, who, again, for me, I don't know if you had any expectations for Group E, but Aberdeen Clearing and Blue Bearded Man looked way better than I thought they would. Obviously, Aberdeen Clearing cleared the group. They went 3-0, came first place. But considering they were unknown to a lot of us in MiniLCS before, I think a few of their players came from Zenith League beforehand. Which is a big shout out to Zenith League. But yeah, Aberdeen Clearing taking that. Not quite on the all-time record, but close. And then we've seen this game come up before, I believe. Coin Flip Amateurs here versus Latitude. 88 kills, they tie the record, so they're going to put themselves in there. It's now a 3-way tie for the all-time record on bloodiest game. It's the exact same game I was describing in the longest game. You know, it is awkwardly, it's a coinciding type thing where longest game, bloodiest game, they tend to go one, you know, hand in hand, even if it hasn't with the other two brackets here. But we've seen it in the past, and I'm sure we'll see it again. But yeah, coin flip amateurs, congratulations. Despite the 5th to 8th place finish, you have got 2 awards on your belt already, so that they're doing all right, all things considered. And yeah, I wanna say as well, on the Rift Police point, when I was doing the stats for this, the top 10 bloodiest games, they are in 6 of them, and 7 of them, and the top 6 all include Rift Police. Like, they were one of the messiest, one of the bloodiest teams. Messy despite what occurred to them after playoffs. And you know, it's an interesting statistic to kind of latch onto there. Their amount of kills on average was higher than most teams. Yeah. What's that said now? It says 6 or 7. Hell no. The things I do for 5 gifted, bro. So many mistakes have been made. Here's what it is.
Right, next up we have the KDA Player Awards. So
is this a good award? Is this a good award or a bad award?
I don't know.
I think it's a good award. Yeah, I think it depends on your team. If your team's placing last place and you're on the KDA award, then that's probably a problem. But if your team's placing well, then it's probably a good thing. You know, getting the most bang for your buck, giving as little gold as humanly possible away, trying to get as part of as many things as you can with kills and assists, you know? The current all-time record for KDA player in classic fashion, Walker currently has it. Big KDA player, of course, on the Enchanters. He's currently his is all the way back from Winter Open of 2025, where he had 10.27 KDA over 17 games. So decent KDA over a decent spread of games. But let's see whether or not anybody in Weenie Hut or in Hardstack or maybe even in Sweatlord can beat him. So gonna have to keep our eye out for that one as we reveal the award in. Ta-da. So congratulations there to Master Uguay, Vicky Mendoza jungler, 9.71 KDA, the highest of this tournament, not quite beating out the all-time record, but over 15 games, that is a KDA I aspire to, let me put it that way. I die way too much in comparison. And then we have the first award for a Mandem, Magmoody's Mandem, going to get the Hardstack KDA Player Award. Ko in the mid lane, 9.24 KDA over 12 games. Definitely one of the highlight players on that roster. And then joining Walker on the wait, what?
Fuck Mount Fitcher.
Charm KDA retreat immediately.
You didn't hear the fuck Mount Fitcher.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't. Yeah. Oh hell no. Is that still 1,000? Look at this guy Eunice, bro. He left at 1,000 for this stream. He's a dickhead. Couldn't even show up. What am I getting baited, man? Right, anyway, like I was saying, North Stream here, joining Walker on the KDA Player Awards. 9.24 KDA over 16 games. Finals MVP there in the mid lane for the Cudders Cuties. Back-to-back Finals MVP, in fact. So, you know, North Stream's been... ignore the fact there's a typo and it says North Steam as well, by the way. Ignore that.
Excuse me, Slimsy, why is your dick so big?
That's what happens when you make all the graphics in the last 2 hours before the event starts.
Slimsy, why is your dick so big?
This recording is going to be...
Why is your dick so big? Excuse me, Slimsy, why is your dick so big?
Days. Look what you've done. Terrible things have occurred. Unfortunate.
Excuse me, Slimsy, why is your dick so big?
Unfortunate indeed. But anyway, on with the next one. We got after the KDA Player Award, if my list is to be believed, which it should be, we have a long time award that has confused many people because all of you people are uncultured. So this is an award that I refer to as the Catan connoisseur, and then people go, "What's Catan, bro? What does that mean?"
Uncultured.
Catan is a game about farming. A Catan connoisseur is someone who is good at farming, you know? I want to trade some bricks, get some wheat, build some towns, and that's what you're trying to do in League here with killing minions and killing jungle creeps.
It's a game that you actually, you know, potentially touch grass because you actually have to go outside and interact with other people in real life. It's a good board game. Would recommend.
Good board game indeed. I haven't played it in a minute, but the current all-time record for the Catan connoisseur is T-Baggins. So it was a Winnie Hut Jr. special. Finals MVP of Winnie Hut in Summer Invitational 2025. Unfortunately, not someone we've seen since, as 5DK did not join this tournament. We hope to see them back in summer, but he has 9.8 CS per minute over 8 games in that Summer Invitational of 2025. So that's the benchmark. That's what we're trying to hit. I imagine we're going to see some 80 carries up in here. You know, 80 carries are the guys who tend to farm a ton. You know, it was kind of indicative to their role. But without further ado, when you're ready, Aaron, let's see who we've got. Catan Connoisseur Award of Winter Open 2026. Poseidon, Pizzazz, and Humble V9. So Poseidon, actually a mid laner, but has played, they did flex him into that bot lane a couple times. 8.8 CS per minute over 16 games. And it does need to be said, with the addition of the group stage for Winter, all of these stats are a little bit, you know, they would be deflated, right? Like we can see T-Baggins only played 8 games in the entirety of Summer Invitational 2025. His team got a bye in the first round, and then they ran straight through the winners bracket all the way to grand finals, and then 3-0'd grand finals. So they played arguably as few games as physically possible. Whereas here, you can see 16, 15, 22, you know, they're playing tons of games here in the Winter Open. But yeah, Poseidon here, congratulations. Vicky Mendoza, mid laner, did flex bot a few times, 8.8 CS per minute over 16. Pizzazz came within 0.2, and Humble came within 0.1. So I'd say these, even though they don't beat the record, they are arguably more impressive. Because, well, for one, they're both in higher levels of play, right? T-Baggins did it in the Winnie Hut bracket, but Pizzazz and Humble are doing it in the hard stuff and the Sweatlord bracket, respectively. And look at the number of games. 9.6 CS per minute over 15, 9.7 CS per minute over 22. I think it speaks volumes as to how dominant they were in their brackets, with how high they've been able to farm up here. So congratulations to all 3 involved. Gonna see T-Baggins here, he's gonna keep the record.
Excuse me, Slimsy, why is your dick so big? Excuse me, Slimsy, why is your dick so big?
No one can hear anything because people are just spamming the fucking emojis. This is what you've done. This is your work, Eunice. Look what you did. He probably can't even hear me cussing him. Unbelievable. And the way how I can't hear any of them. 2 hours of spam for real. I don't even know. Am I gonna have to turn on I'm gonna turn on the volume so I can. Okay. It seems like the spam is done. All right, we're good. Let's go. All right. Sorry, I saw a question in the chat from Tara. Is there any place we can look at the stats of specific players in the league? We have a back-end stat sheet. If people wanted that to be made public after the event, I'm more than happy to do so.
We're currently looking in the next tournament to sort something out where we can actually show you potentially, you know, a website.
Yeah.
That after games you'll be able to see the stats. But we need developers. We need you. You know, if any of you know,
we need the people them
actually skilled to actually do anything else but play League, to help us out there. But enough of that. The next award is a new award. It's a new one. It follows on slightly from the last award from the Catan Connoisseurs. It is the Gold Collector, Gold Diggers. You know, the most gold in a game.
I want to call up Kanye.
So yeah, this is setting new records. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, this one is about gold per minute. Again, I imagine it's probably going to be very 80 carry. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see mostly the same dudes who just showed up. I would say if it wasn't, you'd assume if you've got the most CS coming in per minute, barring kills, like realistically, you should probably have the most gold coming in, right? But whoever wins this one's gonna be setting the record. So we're gonna have to see who it is that pulls it out. Who you got your money on? Anyone, Aaron? Any expectations? I think Humble's a fucking safe bet. That guy's been ridiculous.
Yeah. We got people in the chat saying Sue and Pizzazz. Humble, yeah, definitely. Oh, you're gonna have to
Ivan
find out.
again. Oh, okay, we're gonna have to.
After the drum roll. And of course it is.
Look at that.
Pizzazz. It is Humble. And it is Scoot. Damn, chat was
Scoot.
right. Sue. Sorry, I thought I saw a C there, man. These glasses.
It's because, yeah, for real, the shades are blocking him. Scoot Ball. I want to see him change his name now. But yeah, congratulations there, you guys, to obviously we see Humble V9 and Pizzazz showing back up here. Pizzazz eking it out here, 623 gold per minute over the 601 of Humble. And I think that, again, might speak a little bit to, I think, the fact that Pizzazz and Bomba, especially Bomba plays a lot of those kind of very aggressive, very kind of like kill-orientated champs. He's looking for the hooks. He's looking for the kind of ways to lock someone down to get Pizzazz going. And I want to say as well, Soot here, Sootball, his gold, while he didn't show up in the farming department, his is indicative of the pure dominance that Sootball and Tide had in the bot lane in lower bracket. In Weenie Hut Junior bracket, there were so many games where just the two of them were able to just kill people, shut them down in lane in isolated 2v2s. And that's why, while he isn't in the farm department the best, in the gold department, it doesn't matter. We're indiscriminate here. If you kill champions, if you kill minions, if you kill jungle creeps, it doesn't matter. Gold is gold. And the gold collector award winner is going to be Sootball here in the Weenie Hut Junior bracket with 509 gold per minute over 13 games. But yeah, Pizzazz is going to take that all-time record here, setting that one, getting us ready for maybe someone to try and break it in summer. Now people will know where to try and aim for. If they want to see themselves, you want to see the names on that plaque going forward. But let's bring it back to our next award, which, if I recall correctly, is one we've had before, but we have changed the name. So in the spirit of, we're MiniLCS, right? So that means we're trying to emulate pro play, and that means, I assume, a lot of the people who take part know a bit about pro play. We wanted to start naming some of our awards after certain pros who are known after certain things, right? And so this one would have been highest average DPM, but we have lovingly named it the Uzi Award. And I really wanted to get that, I don't know if you guys remember Trick 2G, when there's like that sound bite where he's watching Uzi play and he's like, Uzi. I wanted that on stream, but I didn't have time to get it, so we can't do it. So you're gonna have to live with my rendition of it. And he's like, AK-47, motherfucker. But other than that, let's see who's gonna win the Uzi Award, the highest average damage per minute. Current record being held by Mr. Clisty in the top lane. But it's gonna be 3 more 80 carries. Look at Uzi there in the background. My goat right there. Of course it was gonna be 3 more 80 carries. Have you not seen this role this season? It is broken. They get 7 items. They're just crazy. But these are at least 2 80 carries we haven't seen before. And everyone broke the damage per minute record in this season. So we got Alki from Team Cyberpunk here of 1,087 DPM over 8 games. I would say, for my money, Alki was probably the best player on Team Cyberpunk. He consistently looked really strong. Even in the games they lost, he was still ahead in lane. And, we can see it manifesting here in the DPM. Even though they went out in quarterfinals, they kind of got squished by Team Zenith, weirdly enough. In the group stage, they did go undefeated. They had a 2-1 record because their captain got disqualified and fielded an illegal roster. But, in all the other games where they played with legal rosters, they looked unstoppable. And Alki was a large part of that with that 1,087 DPM. If we switch it up to hard start bracket, we find what I know a few people were looking at, you know, my jungle or my jungie now, because it is an I as opposed to an L, but it's a capital I. So my jungle now, Gert in the bot lane for Beer Before League, he is going to crash the entire record by over 200 damage. And again, that speaks volumes as to how Beer Before League played, right? You know, their top lane was almost always weak side, their mid lane was always on control mages, and they would always throw my jungle now onto the hyper carries, right? They would throw him on the Kai'Sa, something we saw a lot of. But if it wasn't banned, they might throw him on the Twitch. And yeah, over 9 games, 1280 DPM, massive improvement on the previous record set by Mr. Callisti in the Winter Open of 25. And then, what were we, 3 for 3 on the last 3 awards? Humble V9 showing up again. Not gonna lie, he's making my life easier because it meant I didn't have to change the logo for the last 3 graphics, you know? My goat right there, 1215 DPM over 22 games. Humble V9 was very much V9 at some points in some of those Latitude series, and it is showing in the numbers. So, how did I not see the face? I don't know. How didn't you see the face? That's the goat right there. That's Uzi right there. You love to see it. But yeah, congratulations there to Alki, to My Jungle Now, and Humble V9 for the Uzi award there, and My Jungle Now specifically for bursting through that previous record. 1280 DPM over 9 games is a big achievement from him. And AD carry seems like a balanced role right now. I agree with you, Terra. I 100% agree. Yeah, AD carry seems hella balanced, right? Kind of goes hard. But I think we're gonna finally move away from AD carry dominance in the awards, because the next trophy is a new one. So again, whoever gets this one, they're setting the record. And it is what we're referring to as the participation trophy. So, you know, you get a little something for being there. So, in layman's terms, this is going to be the highest average kill participation award. So, you know, you might not be the guy picking up the kills. You might not be the guy picking up all the gold, but you're there. You're a part of it. You're facilitating. You know, you pressed the button that meant that you were a part of the kill. You know. If you're playing something like a Soraka or something like a Karthus, you know, doesn't matter if you're in the right place. You press the button and you got the assist, bro. Let's go. But either way, let's see who we're gonna get here. 3 fresh faces, I hope, for the participation. Participation record set going to Lyris. So the previous record was set by Beer Before League AD carry, and this one is being set by Beer Before League's support. So congratulations to Lyris there with 78% kill participation over 9 games. Again, we've seen their team in both winter of 26 and summer of 25. They play so heavily for bot, and you can see it here in that kill participation, right? You know, how many of those kills went over to probably their AD carry? You know, that guy dropping that fat DPM. Lyris is there on those champions facilitating it. You know, he's playing the stuff like the Braum, stuff like the Nico, where he can kind of try and either keep the AD carry safe on some side of the Enchanter picks like Milio, like Lulu, or he's trying to actually get in there, get in the enemy team's guts on the Nautilus, on the Nico, trying to get those Pop Blossoms. And then we're going to see a jungler here for lower bracket, for Weenie Hut bracket. We see Aid Pro with 75% KP over 5 games. And then for, I think he's also the first member of the Outcasts to get an award thus far. So big shout out to Aid Pro there. You know, he was very, very dominant on the Jarvan, on the Gwen as well. You know, there was a lot of games there for Outcasts where it kind of looked like if he wasn't getting ahead, they might not be able to carry the game, you know? And so Aid Pro there with that KP just shows exactly how strong he was in some of those games. And then Boss01, captain of Zig7, gonna pick up the first and I think the only award Zig7 get in this entire show, where he had 71% KP over 5 games. So, you know, the game count is a little bit lower. It is still in legal realm. Like we say, if you've done about 4 to 5 games is a reasonable amount to be eligible. But yeah, he was able to crack it out. Played several roles for 6-7 in the tournament. I believe he started off as their their support. Then I think he had to go top for a game or two, and then I think he went jungle for a game as well. After unfortunately their jungler did drop out, but you know, Boss 01, congratulations. Unfortunately, didn't make it out of group stage this time, but you know, an award is an award all the same. As I begrudgingly look at the Twitch chat and see everybody. Well, I say everybody. It looks like it's just Soot and Synthet, but you know, the point still stands. People spamming.
With that, I think you just need to get on the editing bay and sort out the GIF for that so that you can redeem that instead. Gotta milk that. It just appear in the bottom corner. But the next one is the Yankos Award. Those who watch the LEC or used to watch it, this is for the most first bloods.
Yeah, Yankos was always known in the highlight of his career as the First Blood King. For the people who can remember him back in like Roccat, early G2 days, you know, before he became more of a facilitator jungler, he was the guy who was always playing stuff like the Elise, trying to get those first bloods as aggressively as he could. And so it was very much a moniker that didn't translate internationally. But that's not the point, guys. MiniLCS is not mini worlds, you know, that's not where we are right now. So Yankos is my GOAT. He gets to be the name of the award, First Blood King, right there. And let me just double check to see who it is on the current record holder. It is currently someone we haven't seen in like a year. It is the former mid laner of Cutters Cuties, is Turkey Flaps, AP. He had 6 first bloods in their winning round of Winter Open 2025. You know, they made the run all the way through losers bracket to the championship, and partially on the back of him doing so well in the mid lane on champions like Diana and Xerath. So you know, he's got a big hole there to fill for some of these players. But yeah, without further ado, Aaron, when you're ready, let's get some trophies out here. You know, we got a couple people to maybe give out the Yankos Award to, maybe, who knows? There we go. Hey, let's see whether or not Synthet can see the face in this one. Congratulations there to Saiyan Sky, Pizzazz, and Mr. Clisty of Cutters Cuties there. None of them break the record there, but we do have 2 people pretty close. Saiyan Sky, one of the strongest AD carries in that Weenie Hut bracket that we just saw. You know, Team Zenith kind of rode or died, rid or did, ride or died, rode or died, something along those lines. But you know, their hopes and dreams in this tournament kind of solely soared on the side of whether or not Saiyan Sky could get ahead between him and Grass Wonder. And you know, first blood, 5 of them, kind of tells you that's the story of that's the tale of the tape there for them. They very, very strong bot lane in that Weenie Hut bracket. Then Pizzazz once again showing up here with, what is this, his like 3rd or 4th award in this one so far? He's been all over the shop. Got 4 first bloods here in the hardstock bracket. And Mr. Clisty, 5 first bloods. He also won it for Sweatlords, I believe, in summer of 25. But it just, again, didn't break that record that Turkey Flaps has right now of that 6 first bloods from Winter Open. So congratulations to the 3 of you. How many gifted to recreate the Yankos pick exactly? I don't think I could. I don't think there's an amount of money that could make me pull that face. I don't think I'm physically capable. It's like, I don't know. I don't have that in me, bro. True, Pizzazz Award show. That's accurate. But yeah, do you want to do the last non-All-Pro award now? Or do you want to just go into All-Pro and then we'll finish? Because I did put the last one at the end, but I don't mind not having it at the end. Okay. It's going to be an elephant in the room for the people who care about it, you know. The Reckless Award.
Yep.
Yeah. The Reckless Award is it's a coveted and very special award, almost as special as Reckless is as a player, you know. And no backhanded meaning behind that, I swear. But yeah, the Reckless Award is the award given to a player who was on the championship winning team who played 0 games. So obviously in winter of 25, that was given to, I believe, North Stream. And then in summer of 25, it was given to a few people. So if I remember correctly, in the lower bracket, or in Weenie Hut bracket, it went to King Yu of 5DK. And in the Sweatlord bracket, it went to Tom of Cutters Cuties, who was in the subs, but he didn't actually play a game. So we're gonna have to see. I mean, anyone who was paying attention should already kind of know the answer to this one. But when you're ready, Aaron, you let us know what the situation on the Reckless Award is right now.
The winner of the Reckless Award goes to no one.
Everybody used their subs this tournament. Holy! Look how sad you guys all made him, guys. What the hell? Can't believe you've done this. Honestly, no decorum among these players to try and win the coveted Reckless Award, you know. So we're gonna have to see who's gonna aim for that one in summer of 26, because you know, I don't think I imagine at least someone's gonna want to win that one, you know. We'll have to see if they can, though. No cucking in this MiniLCS, indeed. Everybody was getting stuck in, you know. If we look at the 3 championship teams, well, Cutters Cuties had Crunk and Snow as their subs, and they used both of them in several games, I believe. If we go to the Hardstuck bracket, Grom Support Group actually dropped their subs. So, you know, in summer of 25 and in winter of 25, they had Cotton Candy and Happy Immortal in their team. But this season, they decided to lock the fuck in. They dropped the subs, and they you know, they didn't have to use them, and they went really fucking hard. They won really fucking hard. And then if we look at Weenie Hut, Church of Copium Kings was a team with a piecemeal roster, to be honest. At times they had in and out of their team about 8 people to try and name them. So the winning roster was Synthet, Lix, the Chapati Master, Sootball, Tide, and then they had Mahasvara on the sub list, and they had Noodle Master on the sub list, and then they also had Jesu as an AD carry before, but then there was roster swaps. And so, you know, their team, they had a bunch of subs, but they used all of them. So nobody wins. Wait, who did I miss? You said you had 9 players who played in total. Oh, Spoob played for 1 game. Big shout out, 100% win rate, Spoob. I forgot about that. That was in semifinals, if I remember correctly. And she was never officially on the roster, but she got that 1 game in. And, you know, big shout out for Spoob. Getting the she's got a better win rate in MiniLCS than I do. Feels bad, man. That's not a hard thing to beat. I think I have a negative win rate all time, but you know, it is what it is.
Well, before we get onto the All Pros, let's just do a quick, not a quick break. I'm just going to flash through quickly all of the teams, you know, that got to play in the MiniLCS. So let's start off with the Weenie Hut Juniors bracket. We of course had Church of Copian Kings. We had my team, Dagestonian Death Squads, Rift Police, let's just leave it at that. Smiteless, aka the Outcasts, Cyberpunk, Team Zenith, Team Vicky Mendoza, and Wizard Ninjas. That rounded off the Weenie Hut Juniors bracket. And if we actually have a quick look at the bracket itself, it came down to the Church of Copian Kings taking it to 4 games. This was an enjoyable bracket to watch. Of course, these little weenies running about, getting kills. Team Zenith were very close, but alas, they lost and Church Copian Kings won, and they win a trophy, which we'll get out to them at some point in the future. Now let's go on to the Hardstuck Heroes, which has the biggest roster. So first off, we had a 5 off roll, Aberdeen clearing. Is that Afterlife? Is that correct?
It is Afterlife Mystic. Yeah. Yes, Afterlife Mystic. You've got
Beer Before League. Oh god.
Blue Bearded Man.
That's it. Blue Bearded Man. We had Charmed and Dangerous. Couch Potatoes, who did not participate, it turns out.
Yeah, unfortunately, they signed up and then they dropped out because in week 1 they were like, oh, we have time because they said there's like 5 weeks and we're in a 4-team group, so we would delay it to week 2. And then that week 2 game came and they were like, oh, we're gonna delay both until week 3, and I was like, no, just play the games or don't. And then they bailed.
And then to round that off, we had a Crimson Frost, and then this was followed up by Cudder's Piggies, not Cudder's Cuties. This was a sister split-off team. Dangerous Game, Dark Lord's Omega Squads, named after myself, Dilliman Esports, who Day Zero was on, Fruit Maxes, Good Chimps, Grump Support Group, recurring team in the MiniLCS, and then Hagrid's Hermione's, and then there's just a few more as we load up the images. We then had Hardstuck Helmets, Jazz with Gas, Mac Moody's Mandem, Mobile Warfare, Should Have Picked Us, and then the Cooked Kitchens. We'll quickly show up the bracket. Don't worry, you don't get to see the playoffs. The groups. Grump Support Group with a dominating win there in the end.
I don't want to see this. I don't want to see my team get too old, man. Not like this. We should have won, but we got diffed. It was unfortunate, but you know.
And then let's go on to the last bracket, the Sweat Lords bracket. We had, of course, Coin Flip Amateurs, renamed from Coin Flip Connoisseurs. We had the Cudders Cuties, the currently reigning Sweat Lord champions, Goon City. We then had a Latitude, which, correct me if I'm wrong, Latitudes are Bracabra, right?
No, Latitude is
oh no, that's
it's a completely new team. You're thinking of Team Zib. Team Zib is the spiritual successor to Bakara Brawler or Hypsa's camp. But Latitude is it was Humble V9, bro. It was Humble and Pals, bro. Honestly, he looked insane. The only person of that team that came out of previous MiniLCS was enemy mid, or Chris, who was he was the mid laner and jungler for Ace of Diamonds in Emerald bracket last season, but decided to bump it up, wanted to go top lane, play with some of his friends from North Macedonia, echo the Macedonian flag in the logo, and the Danish flag there as well to represent Oko, or Magnus, their mid laner. And they came out swinging in this tournament, to be honest. You know, they like I said, 4 unknowns and 1 person known to be role swapping came out, didn't drop a single series in group stage, and didn't drop a series until the finals. You know, they took the Cuties to 5 games as well. So, you know, massively well-performing team there. Hope to see some of them back in summer of 26 for sure.
Yeah, we definitely do. We hope to see all teams back and more for the summer 2026. Just quickly round this off, we have Mystery Int, we had the Pagans, Plex Express, Salman Gun Donnies, Team Zib, and then Zig 7. If we quickly look at the bracket, how that all played out, it was, of course, the Cudders Cuties, the reigning champions, with the updated logo there of the 3 stars. Hope maybe this is the only 3 stars we shall ever see, or maybe not. Maybe they'll get a 4th.
The 3-peat, the treble. Sounded like
as you were saying, Latitudes were dominating in the lower part and did take Cudders Cuties to a 5 game. We do love a 5 game. I love playing Silver Scrapes. But yeah, that was the MiniLCS. Now let's get on to the All Pros. So this is split up into each bracket. We have 3rd, 2nd, and then 1st place, with then the MVPs. So we're going to start off with the Weenie Huts.
Any people you've got your eye on here for Weenie Hut bracket that you might think, you know, who do we think is placing where? What do we any people you're specking?
I would hope that I would be placed, somewhere,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. You got votes. I don't know how you got votes, but you got votes.
What do you mean you don't know how?
You got votes.
Did you see my choke mate? Did you not see my allow? I play allow you once.
I'm gonna spoil a little something. Which is that you didn't make top 3, but you are 3 points away from making top 3.
Ooh.
Yeah. So with that in tow, should we give a little rigmarole for the party here for the people in the chat? Yep. Let's see who made 3rd place All Pro team. Do you know what I'd love to do at some point? Hey, there we go. So the 3rd place All Pro Weenie Hut Junior team is Gold Ship in the top lane with 18 points. Aid Pro in the jungle with 17. Chapati Master from Church of Copium Kings in the mid lane with 35 points. So the mid lane pool here was a lot more weighted. I think the top lane and the jungle was a lot more split. AD carry and mid was a lot heavier towards the second and first place. 3rd place All-Pro AD carry is going to be Alki here, and then the 3rd place All-Pro support is Aussie Sauce with 23 points. So congratulations to you 5 for making top 3 here. Not really to the surprise of anyone, I imagine. Most of the players in this top 3 in All-Pro voting are going to be teams that were in the top 4, right? The only person here that's actually not in that is Alki, who was obviously on Cyberpunk, who placed 5th through 8th. But, we've seen his name on the awards before, so it kind of no surprise here that he makes it. And, yeah, congratulations to these 5 for making that 3rd place. But without further ado, let's see who makes it to 2nd place. Yeah, so, we know now that... you've caught me eating. You've caught me munching my my dry ass Cheerios. No milk. Congratulations, and fuck you, Gold Chip, for taking my spot. So... Next up. He took it with the Sterax gauge first, Olaf Tech, bro. You just don't know. Trust. It actually goes hard. So for the 2nd place All Pro team for the Weenie Hut Juniors bracket, it goes to Mogjaw Licks, Cap Bandito, Cedrin Sky, and Grass Wonder. So yeah, here we can see just how weighted those points were, right? So, we saw that Gold Ship got 18 points in 3rd place in top lane. Mogjaw, 46. It was very, very one-sided who was 1st and 2nd place in that top lane. It was a big cut above. Like if we look at the rest of the bracket in terms of, we can see I'm not going to spoil how many points, but I'm going to say that it was close between 2nd and 1st in the top lane. And then between Mogjaw and Gold Ship is like nearly 30 points. And then between Gold Ship and the rest of the players, so Jason Matt, Dark Lord Aeron, New Meta, Jax Relax, there's only single-digit points between those players. And so, it was very clearly understood who ruled that top lane in Weenie Hut bracket this season, and Mogjaw locks in that 2nd place. But I need to say a little special something to Lix, because that guy came in as a last-minute replacement for Church of Copium Kings. He is a bronze player who, under the kind of tutelage and the practice of the team manager and former captain in Mahasvara, was able to be one of the best junglers in this bracket on certain picks. When he got champions like the Ambessa, he was 2nd to none in this bracket and contesting some of the best junglers in the bracket holistically. Securing like literally double the amount of points that Aid Pro had in 3rd place as well. I think it speaks volumes as to how well he did on certain champions, and being one of those players where, in a bracket where players cost points, being someone who's worth more than the points they have to spend on is invaluable. And I think that Lix is a very large part of why Church of Copium Kings were able to kind of eke out the entire tournament, to be honest, because once they added him and tied to the roster, things, their fortunes changed like irrevocably. Cat Bandito here, second person from the Outcasts to make that top 3, to make that All-Pro. I think for my money, he was probably the best mage player in the entire bracket. I think that he did really well, and when Outcasts were winning, it was primarily off of him winning lane and Aid Pro being able to impact the map, right? They were able to kind of put the team on the back at times where some other mid laners may have fallen. And then the bot lane here for Team Zenith, gonna lock in that second place All-Pro here. Saiyan Sky and Grass Wonder together, they have been a force to be reckoned with in that bot lane. Very, very dangerous duo. 49 points for Saiyan Sky. Like I said, you know, same as top lane, the bot lane here was very weighted on that top 2. The second and third place, there was only 2 points between them. So they were insane. And then Grass Wonder here with 23 points on that support pick. You know, I think again she did super well in this event, in this tournament, running that bot lane and securing themselves that second place All-Pro here. But that only leaves one more to do. We got first place to get out.
And I just want to do a big shout out to Lix because he dodged all the accusations of smurfing. Left, right, and center. Every single fucking game we had, there was always a comment of, "Oh, this guy's smurfing, man. This guy's smurfing. How is he doing this? He's a bronze. What is?" Well done, Lix, for getting into the second All-Pro team and for just doing a stellar job, and of course winning. But without further ado, let's do the first All-Pro team, and that will go to Synthet, Master Uguay, Poseidon, Suitball, and Tide.
Oh, Suitball, not Scootball, no? Yeah, congratulations to you 5 Synthet there, All-Pro first top laner. Massive kind of resurgence story there for Synthet for me. You know, again, as someone who's been a part of and had to kind of watch all of these tournaments, I know a lot of the players who we've seen come in and out, right? And so Synthet is someone we saw in Winter of 25. He came in part of 7 Schizos, which was one of the mashup teams. And I think he had a very rough time of it. But then, you know, now that we've got the bracketed system, I think that he's had a lot easier of a time. He's been able to show off how good of a player he is in this kind of more curated environment. And, you know, been showing off on also several champions, to be honest. I remember in that previous tournament in Winter of 25, he only really showed off on the Aatrox, but in this event we saw him pop off on the Mordekaiser, on the Aatrox, on the Zahen. You know, we saw several good performances. We even saw him pull out the Yone in finals, which was crazy. Did not see that in his champion pool at all, but he was able to beat Mogjon with it in finals. And, you know, yeah, big shout out to Synthet. Really big kind of improvement story for him there. And then similarly here we have Master Uguay in the jungle, someone who I know personally doesn't play jungle massively. You know, we've seen him, he played mid lane in the Winter Open of 25, where he essentially just served as a ban bot on his team. Like, the enemy team would always just ban Vladimir to stop him getting it, and then he would be kind of neutered from that. Then in the Summer Invitational 25, we saw him move to support, play for 0-10 Power Spike, finished out 4th place overall on a mashup team, which, by the way, prior to that point, there had been no mashup teams make it anywhere near that far. So it was also an unprecedented run. And then here on Vicky Mendoza in the jungle this time, playing a lot of AP kind of junglers, stuff like the Lilia, stuff like the Amumu, and a couple more bruisers in there like the Wukong as well. Clear and away one of the better junglers here in that lower bracket. And then if we move over to the bottom side of the map, we've got Poseidon here, 35 points. Doesn't sound accurate to me, actually. That looks like a typo. It is 54 points. My bad. I must have not changed that from Chapati Masters. But yeah, I think Poseidon, for everybody's money, was probably the best mid laner in this bracket. I remember getting a lot of people being like, oh, are you even sure Poseidon should even be in this bracket? He got first place All-Pro top laner in last season. And you know what? Maybe they were right, because I'm not going to lie to you, he looked insane in Weenie Hut Junior bracket. It can be safe to say he will probably not be playing Weenie Hut again, because he was a force to be reckoned with in this bracket, and very, very dangerous person to deal with on champions like the Yone, like the Veigar, We even saw him bring a couple top laners into the mid lane, stuff like Malphite, stuff like Zahen. And yeah, he very much earned this first place All Pro. And then we moved to the Miracle bot lane. There's two players who were not originally drafted to the side of Church of Copium Kings, but once they were on that team, the fortunes of that team went perpetually up, you know? So he was a super sub for a few teams before Jesu eventually got dropped, and then Sutball kind of slotted in perfectly into the team, was able to win games with both Tide and with their original support in Noodle Master, who had to take a break because of exams. And then Tide, someone who came in to replace Mahasfara, their original captain, once he had a hand injury, and the team changed dramatically once they had him in the support role. Once they had a kind of two-pronged threat, right? In the original kind of iteration of the team, Synthet was the primary carry and the only person who was really being played towards. But once they had Tide and Soot in that bot lane, Soot and Tide could actually develop leads for themselves. And so it didn't matter if the jungler was camping bot. He could spend all the time in the world topside and it wouldn't really matter because they were able to just hard force kind of advantages in that bot lane. And so congratulations to Soot and Tide, Synthet, Master Uguay, and Poseidon for locking in that first place All-Pro Weenie Hut Junior bracket roster. And I would be interested to see this team go up against one of the like low placing teams from Hardstuck. I would love to see how that might play out. That might be like a content thing we could maybe do with all the teams if they're willing. We get like first place All Pro Weenie Hut up against like one of the bottom teams from say like Group A of Hardstuck or like one of the other groups where they had like a 0-3 team. I think that could be mega content right there. But we'll have to see if we can get to that. But we have one more thing. We have one more thing for the Weenie Hut Junior bracket before we can move on to Hardstuck. So we have to work out who is the split MVP. So looking at the 5 people there in that first place team, who have we got eyes on here? I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it could be any of 4 people. I think the only person I think it probably couldn't be would be Uguay. I think that his impact in Vicky Mendoza, while good, was maybe not split MVP, you know? I think he was probably the best jungler, but like if I'm looking at bang for buck best players, I'm like Synthet consistently winning lane topside, consistently hard carrying games when they got the advantages onto him. Poseidon was again someone that they could like consistently rely on to just kind of, when he gets the gold on him, he can 1v9, and he was doing it in 2 roles as well. He was doing it in mid and in bot. They would put him on AD carry against teams with strong AD carriers, people like teams like well, I think they did it in group stage. Sorry, no, I'm talking about scrims. I think they did it against Church of Copium Kings to try and shut down Soot. And they did it against Team Zenith to try and shut down Saiyan Sky, and it worked, right? They were able to do that where they knew if they put their AD carry up against Terra, or up against Biwahaya as their username, it will be less dangerous than leaving their AD carry to get farmed by Saiyan Sky. And so, you know, that kind of versatility there in that mid and bot lane was a very dangerous thing to deal with if you're up against Vicky Mendoza. But then the bot lane here, I mean, I just glazed them for like 5 minutes. You know, I think that Tide and Soot, they very much could be the split MVP. You know, we saw already Soot got he got the gold collector award, and that was not because of his farm. Like I said, it was because they were dumpstering lanes. You know, I look back to the semi-finals game 2 against Outcasts where we had Tide on Zac. It was like Zac and I can't remember the AD carry. I think it might have been like a Kaiser or something. It was like I think it might have been like a dive champion, or maybe an Ashe, maybe, I can't remember. And they were going up against the Jinx. And that Jinx just didn't get to play the game. They were farming her underneath her turret. Like, it was ridiculous. And so, you know, I could see any of these players make it, but gonna have to see who it is. Who do we think it is? Let's guess.
And the winner of the MVP for Weenie Hut Juniors is Poseidon.
There we go. Ivan takes it, the Weenie Hut Junior bracket MVP for the Winter Open 2026,
points, which is incorrect.
No. That's for MVP voting. That is correct. Yes.
Okay.
So the individual voting for All Pro is separate, and then the split MVP voting is its own thing. So, like for example, the second place person for the split MVP with 29 points was Tide. Even though Tide got 59 points for first place All-Pro in support. But yeah, congratulations there to Poseidon there. Gonna pick up his first ever split MVP and his second ever first place All-Pro team. So yeah, Ivan's crafting out a good little kind of list of accolades for himself, and will be interesting to see how he can perform in what will probably be Hardstuck next season, because I think, you know, his performance here in Winnie Hut has probably sealed his fate of not being able to play again. Holy. But yeah, all right. With let's, again, knowing that time is of the essence here, I think we should probably try and hammer through the rest of them. We've got what, eight more to do. We've got All Pros third, second, and first, and then split MVP for Hardstuck, and then the exact same for Sweatlord, and then I think we're done. So. Yep. Third place Hardstuck. I want to clarify for the people in the chat that the only people who are available candidates for this are people who made playoffs. So that is the top 10 teams. So if you were in a team that wasn't in the playoffs, you weren't eligible, unfortunately. Obviously that wasn't relevant for Weenie Hut because everybody who was in groups made it to playoffs. But for Hardstuck, where we had to make a hard cut of 10 teams, and there was 22, that means that there are 12 teams worth of players. You know, we're talking
8 teams.
Players.
8 teams, not 10.
No. We had the preliminary round as well. Those guys.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
So Beer Before League and Cutter's Piggies, their players qualified because they did top 2 in their group, and they just didn't make it to the top 8, which is why they won on the bracket, I say. But like, yeah. But their players they were eligible for All Pro. We'll see whether or not any of them make it, to be honest. I mean, we just saw, obviously, even though Beer Before League didn't make top 8, they took 2 awards earlier in the game. So earlier in the stream, they took highest DPM and the participation trophy. So we'll be keeping an eye on them to see if they can take anything here from third place. I'm not gonna say anything because I know the answers here, but I want to see Aaron. Any highlight people you think might make it into this third place or second place or first place Hardstuck?
Well, I don't think you should make it.
I fucking agree with you.
Because I didn't make it. However, to be fair, you did actually hit your smites this time, so...
Hell yeah. We got a new gimmick now, bro. We got a new gimmick. The 0 smites days are over. It's 0 hair now. This is my life.
But let's do a drum roll, because we have for the Hardstuck Heroes third All Pro team goes to
it's rigged, bruv. It's rigged. How did I make it? It's rigged. I didn't tell them to do it, I swear.
How much gifted subs?
This is, yeah, for 50 gifted right now. Yeah, this is, I don't know how I feel about this one, but you know, I think some of the other options make a ton of sense, to be honest. So let's talk about the top lane here. Obviously the top laner here of Good Chimps, Patarina, making that top 3 here with 19 points. It was a very contested role, I'm not gonna lie. Like, other than first place, I think every other person, it was like, there was a bit of a toss-up, to be honest with you. But Patarina made it to the finals. I believe he was the semis finals MVP as well. So he was, you know, the quarterfinals MVP, where he put Johnny on a t-shirt in that quarterfinals game against McMoody's Mandem, and yeah, he did a good job there. Then we have me here. Like I said, I don't think I should be here. Top 8 finish is not really good enough. I think that there should have been more players. You know, I think there are better people. You could have put About Blank there. It was the McMoody's jungler. I think he could have made a fucking sweet top 3 there. I think Up Kaz from Aberdeen Clearing was also a really good shout. Shige or Pensive, who are both the junglers but Fruit Maxers, could have made a good call here for top 3. But for whatever reason, in the same way that they voted for you, for some reason the people vote for me. I don't know why. I don't understand the whims of the people. But it is what it is. I somehow made top 3. At least it's not as bad as last season where I somehow made top 1. I should not have been on that first place All Pro roster in Weenie Hut bracket at all. It should have definitely been Secretion, but
fuck it, we ball. We look to the mid lane here and the AD carry role. Both are split, so they were both. We got 35 points apiece here for player 1, who was the Grom support group mid laner, and Aghanim Scepter, who was the Dillamond Esports mid laner, so my mid laner. And then in the AD carry role, we had Dangerous Games Oppression paired up with Mads as well, Mas from Dillamond Esports. And then in the support, my fucking goat, Dr. Duck, hard carried our team. So I think, you know, he's the one person from our team on here I'm like, yeah, bro, he deserves to be on here. In fact, I'd say he should be higher, but like, that's just me though. Whereas the rest of us, I'm like, I'm a little bit on fraud watch. But you know what? We made it. Fuck it, we will. Congratulations to Pat Arena, Day Zero, Player 1, Aghanim Scepter, Mass Oppression, and Dr. Duck for making that 3rd place all-pro hardstuck team there. First one as well that we've had where it's been a tiebreaker as well, where we've had tied people. So I can assure you now, editing it to split halfway was a massive pain in the ass. That shit was mega annoying. Don't give me more tiebreakers. I don't want to do it again.
Right, so we'll just go straight into the hardstuck second all-pro team, and it is the drum roll.
Hey, gonna see some of the top 4 teams popping up here now. You know, we see again good chimps show up. They got Theaska here in that jungle. I was always saying that for my money, the top 2 junglers, I'm not gonna say the second one because this is my bait out who it is that's in first place, but Theaska was up there, and so, you know, seeing him get the 30 points there makes a lot of sense. You see Levi here in the mid lane. Obviously he role swapped from AD carry to facilitate his team to make you know, to try and get as many points as they could, and also just because there were way more AD carries than there were mid laners in that mashup team kind of array. So, you know, him going in the mid lane, he had a lot of kind of dominance in that role, to be honest with you. I think he did really well considering it was a role swap. He picked loads of champions that got early prio. He was able to facilitate Wilma, who was on mainly carry junglers, and them as a 2-man were a large part of why hardstuck helmets were able to win games. But can't be dismissed that their top laner here and Bear Enthusiast, when he wanted to turn it on, he could hard carry games on his own. Some of their more dominant performances from hardstuck helmets were solely based on Bear Enthusiast just making a mockery of that top lane. There were games where he would kind of run it down, to be honest, and I think that's maybe why he was less contested here for maybe that top pick in the top lane. But, you know, again, like I said, when he wanted to turn it on, he could run that top lane. And then we get the bot lane here from Fruit Maxers in Curse of Ra, who Misko played both mid and AD carry in this tournament, as well as top lane as well. He was very much the glue for Fruit Maxers to kind of make it so that they made that top 4 finish. And then Paper Knight here, who again, for my money, was probably the first place. I think in my ballot, I put him first because I think he did so much for Fruit Maxers in terms of securing them early leads. You know, he always playing those engage type champions, stuff like the Poppy, stuff like the Nautilus, but then we saw him on some enchanters as well. You know, it looks like he's diversified his pool since Winter of 25, where I think he was much more just kind of an engage merchant. And shout out to him as well for hitting Masters during the tournament as well. He was, I think, D2 when he signed up, but, you know, cracked Masters somehow in the middle of the tournament. So, you know, Paper Knight, for my money, one of the best supports in the entire bracket. And yeah, that is your second place all-pro MiniLCS hardstuck team right there, which leaves us the question of who's left for the first place. So, I mean, there's notably 4 members of Grom support group who haven't found a place in all-pro yet. So, I'm not trying to spoil nothing, but like, it's probably gonna, some of them are probably gonna make it. We've seen a few of them have awards already. And, you know, I think it will just depend here. Do we, I mean, well, one of those 4 is Waterboy. Do we see Waterboy take that first place all pro in the jungle? Or is it, might be someone else? We don't know. Let's find out. There we go. Congratulations there to 3 of the 5 members of Gromp support group, alongside Wilma in the jungle with 37 points and Curse of Ra in the mid lane here. So Curse of Ra, Misco picking up 1st and 2nd place All-Pro in 2 separate roles, which has been done before, actually. It was done by, I believe, Your Highness or Falcon, who did it in Emerald bracket last season through AD carry and support. But interesting to see that kind of recurring theme here in the middle, in the kind of middle bracket here, Emerald or Hardstuck, or whatever you want to call it, that we have some kind of mesh, some kind of glue players who find themselves in multiple roles and somehow still popping off and, you know, placing in All-Pro in multiple roles. So you see, and he only eked out that mid lane vote by about 2 points. Mid lane was one of the most varied roles here in terms of point array for Hardstuck. Like, you know, if we even look at the amount of points some of the other players have in comparison, right? Like Wilma 37, Salson 34, Pizzazz 53. Why it shows Thresh for him, that just explains that there should be an AD carry there, but ignore that, bro. That's on me. That's another I rushed this really quickly job right there. And Bomber here on the support with the 49 points as well. They were, I'm not gonna lie to you, I think Gromp support group, with player 1 and with Waterboy, it would be mean to put them in upper, but Salson, Pizzazz, and Bomba, definitely I want to see them play Sweatlord. I think if they played in Sweatlord, I think they could give some of the Sweatlord AD carries and supports a run for their money. I don't know if they're gonna, like, you know, be insane, but I think they could. I see there's definitely a world where they could. But yeah, congratulations there to Salson, Wilma, Curse of Ra, Pizzazz, and Bomber for making that 1st place All-Pro Hardstuck. Someone just said Misco bought votes on God. Yeah, you're probably right, bro. I'm not gonna lie. He did actually. He got 15 points just purely from 1st place voting in the thing. So if you cut those out, he would not have been in like the top 3 for mid lane for sure. But, you know, shout out to the GOAT anyway. Misco, he's crazy with it. He's got the sauce. But anyway, we got one more to do here for Hardstuck, and then we can move on to the last one, and that will be Sweatlord. But yeah, who are we thinking? Hardstuck, split MVP.
Who have we not seen in this? We haven't seen the wait. Am I correct? No, we haven't seen the mid laner for Gromp support group.
No, we did. He got 3rd place, bro. Yeah, he was tied with
motherfucker shit. Yeah,
we didn't see the jungler though. We didn't see Water.
We didn't see the jungler. Yes.
What? So you think he's gonna get split MVP? My goat right there, Oliver right there. That's, I'd love to see it. I think that'd be sick. I don't think it's happening, but you know.
Hey, you never know. Cool. You never know.
He should have got my spot as third All-Pro jungle, to be honest.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, you're cooked, man.
Yeah, agreed. Especially when I don't know if you've seen my ranked MMR recently, bro. I'm getting plus 16 a win and minus 24 a loss. I actually don't even want to play ranked anymore.
Just play ranked with me again. It's all good.
True.
Anyway, enough of that. Let's see
winner, who is.
The split MVP for Hardstuck Heroes is Pizzazz, 49 points.
He had over double the next person, by the way. So he had 49 points, and then 2nd place was Bomber at 21, and 3rd place was Wilma at 13. So dang. I think a lot of people knew, you know, Gromp support group's bread was getting buttered in that bot lane, and Pizzazz and Bomber there pulling heavy weight in that split MVP voting. They did a ton of work in that series. Oh, sorry, in the entire tournament, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, they did. This is a well-deserved win for the bot lane for Pizzazz. And yeah, well, as Azera said, you know, hopefully we see you in the Sweatlords, and you know, you climb up to gain another prize for the summer. But with that, let's go over to the Sweatlords.
Yeah.
third All-Pro team. Who are you thinking?
Get it. For Sweatlord. So I think that for Sweatlord specifically, I think you should have some of the more like niche players, you know, like third place is kind of where you put your guys that like maybe their team didn't perform so well, but they were insane, you know. So like for me, I would probably put some of the guys from Goon City on there. I'd put people like Glub. I'd put people like Dua Lipa Superfan 4, which is a name I love. But if I had to guess, I think it would probably be more like results based. So we're probably still going to see people from the top 4, which means maybe we see like Gekno. Maybe we see, maybe we see the top laner from Team Zib. It was Monshine, who I thought had a really good tournament, to be honest. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see who it is that gets out here. Anyone on your radar?
No. Because I am spoiling some information here behind the scenes information.
You literally just opened the photo and it's like, I can't say anything now because if any of the people I thought was going to make it is on there, it looks like I'm just reading it.
Yeah, it's partly that, but partly it is a well-known fact that even though I run the production side for the playoff stages, I do not pay attention at all in what the fuck you guys are doing. I don't know what the fuck you're doing unless there's some like big play like Bombers plays. It just goes right over my head. So I don't have a vote in this, but you guys voted. We're gonna find out. The Sweatlord's third All-Pro team is Enemy Mid, Zib, Oko, Green Nacho, and my brain doesn't want to compute the support.
There's Minost. Congratulations there to Enemy Mid, Zib, Oko, 3 Nacho, and Minost. I really like, I think Minost and I would say 3 Nacho, in my opinion, probably should have been higher. I think, maybe, I don't know. That's just me. I'm pretty sure I put 3 Nacho as my second place because I mean I think first place is kind of obvious, but 3 Nacho was a large part of why Perplexed Express were winning games. Between him and their jungler, you know, and then obviously Minost facilitating them as well, I think they did a really good job. So, but yeah, his points hit. I do want to say that 3 Nacho's 15 points, if I remember correctly, they all come from like first and second place finishes. So no one thought he was third place, but you know, they either didn't have him on their radar or they thought he was top 2. Meanwhile, Zib here, I think maybe no, I can't remember if he's the only Zib player that made the All-Pro, but you know, he was a very hyper aggressive jungler, one of those players that's like super willing to sack his own camps to try and get his teammates ahead. You know, he was, you know, very much pairing with Greed all the time to try and get Greed ahead. Greed was someone that could hyper carry their games if they got him a lead, and so you would see Zib on these champions like the Talon, like the Jarvan, just like 3 camp gank or you know, get into the enemy team's jungle and try and poach camps away from them to put them behind, kind of sow discord in the game. And so, you know, seeing him make that third place here is super sweet. And then Enemy Mid as well, as I think he had a bit of a redemption arc throughout the tournament. I think at the beginning when they had him playing traditional top laners, he had a very, very hard time of it. But, you know, as the tournament progressed, he was able to start whipping out more traditional mid laners in top. We saw him whip out the Yone a few times. I think about 4 times with a 3-1 record. And the Rise came out at least once in finals as well, if I remember correctly. So, you know, he's had some consistent performances there, even if he wasn't the shining star of his team. And then Oko as well, someone who I think overperformed aggressively. And I'm gonna go on the rant now. I'm not gonna spoil who wins what, but all I'm gonna say is the mid lane pool in Sweatlord is on bullshit. Like, Oko shouldn't be third, in my opinion, and some of the players who don't make it shouldn't have not made it, you know? But we'll find out. I'll elaborate as we progress. But name value is a little bit too strong in these events, and this is why I want to publicly bring out the ballots, because I'm like, it's just not. It ain't right, bro. It ain't right. But we'll find out. Congratulations to enemy mid, Zib, Oko, 3 Nacho, and Minos there, who made your 3rd place All-Pro Sweatlord team. But yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into the 2nd place one, because I am interested to see. There we go. All right, we're gonna see no 3rd place finishes, but we get a 2nd place finish here for coin flip amateurs, who, again, this kind of without trying to be too toxic, I don't want to be toxic, but like, coin flip didn't have a great tournament, right? They went 1-4 in was it 1-4 or wait, there was 5 teams, so they could only have played 4 games, so they went 1-3 in group stage. They beat the only team they beat was the team that actually went out of the tournament, so that would have been Zig 7 in their group, and even then it wasn't a convincing win. And then they went into playoffs and they took 1 game off of Latitude, but the 2 games they lost were pretty bad losses. But Linium is very much a legacy player in MiniLCS. You know, he won split MVP in Winter 25 despite not winning the event. He came in 1st place All-Pro in Sweatlord in summer of 25 despite his team, I think, if I remember correctly, it was Coin Flip Connoisseurs at the time, so they placed 3rd. But he was able to eke out that 1st place All-Pro, and I think some of that residual name value here is kind of bumping him. And so, whereas I think some players who performed better than him, like Monshine or like Glub, you know, they're maybe getting knocked down a bit, just purely just for not being known, you know. And then the rest of it here, we've got 3/5 of Cutter's cuties in here. So we've got Fat Cow in a Hat, North Stream, and Walker 99 showing up here in the 2nd place All-Pro. So surprising to see the winning team not make too much of that 1st place. I imagine we might see at least 1 or 2 of their players in that 1st place All-Pro, but the only people left are Sunny, Etnavs, and Mr. Clisty. And then we do have Team Zib did get a 2nd person here into that All-Pro. They got Vega Istigang with 16 points, only 1 point more than the person below him, into that 2nd place All-Pro. So big shout out there for the AD carry here of Team Zib, who, again, I think against some of the best players in the tournament, I think he struggled a little bit, you know, when they face up against some of the people in their group, right? Like when they faced the Cutters Cuties in their group, when sorry, not Cutters Cuties, it was Perplex Express, where they were against 3 Nacho, right? I think he struggled a little bit, but against some of the weaker AD carries, like the Cuties, like Goon City, for example, Vega Istigang showed, you know, he very much showed his mettle there, and I think it's very well deserved from him. But yeah, other than that, I think it's a formality there for the rest of them. You know, Fat Cat on a Hat, North Stream, Walker. I think North Stream, again, for my money, should have been 1st place, to be honest. But you know, like I said, I think the mid lane one is kind of BS. But
the whole thing with these is that you, the audience, get to vote on this. We don't.
This is true.
This up.
Yeah, this is true. If we had our way, these things would be very different. But you know, the people vote. The people make their decisions known, and all I can do is protest. But yeah,
and
without further ado, I guess it's on you now, Aaron, who's
first pro team of the Sweatlord bracket goes to Mr. Clisty, Bipolar Sunshine, Cine, Humble V9, and White Satin.
So Humble V9 and White Satin make a ton of sense, right? I think that again we saw Humble V9 win literally like 5 awards already. Like he went insane throughout the entire tournament. He went insane. His team were on his back in some of those dangerous times. You know, we even flashed the Sivir there because he got a penta on the Sivir in one of their games. And White Satin is someone who was very much enabling him to do so, right? We saw their team hard push for that bot lane all the time, you know. Papito, their jungler, another person who I think is a little bit criminal, didn't make top 3 somehow, was always in that bot lane, you know. He was always pathing bot, he was always trying to get bot lane ahead. Enemy mid would be playing stuff where it's like, my job in team fights is to just stand in front of Humble and make sure he doesn't die, you know. Stuff like the Scion, stuff like the Renekton, stuff like the Ornn, for example, you know. where he was literally, if he was playing Renekton, he just like, I press Dominus and W whoever stands within attack range of Humble. And yeah, I think that them being here, it was a foregone conclusion. You can see by the points, right? Humble V9 got 58. Who was the next one below? Veigar Istegang with 16. Like, it was a canyon there in that bot lane. And then, yeah, top lane, Mr. Clisty getting it, I think makes a ton of sense. We highlight the Rise there because that was his pocket pick of this tournament. We saw him play loads of ranged stuff this tournament where he was really abusing people. You know, we saw the Rise come out, I think, 3 or 4 times. And even in the games where he didn't get to play it, it was always on the ban list. You know, it was like 100% pick or ban. Like, if we look to the finals, we saw both the QEs and Latitude have to ban Rise away when they weren't on blue side because they knew whoever was on blue was getting it, right? And I think it eventually came out in game 3 that the Latitude lineup were able to pick it. But you know, it was a very, very strong pick for them in that top lane. Alongside, they whipped out the Varus as well early in the season when that champ was very, very disgusting. And we saw a Jace game as well. There was a losing effort. And then in the jungle, Bipolar Sunshine, one of the highlight players there for Perplexed Express in their 3rd to 4th place finish. He was really strong on some of those carry type junglers. We saw him on stuff like the Jarvan, stuff like the Gwen. I believe we saw a game of Kiana out of him as well, which is a very peculiar pick. But it looked real strong in his hands. We can say that much. And, you know, I think that his team, maybe if they were on the other side of the bracket, maybe if they didn't have to face Latitude, I think there's a world where they made finals, to be honest with you. They 2-0'd Cutter's QEs. They did lose to Team Zib, but I think that, you know, in a best of 5, they might have been able to take games off of them, probably drag it out a little bit more. And then to finalize my crying, Sinstinct here with 43 points, coin flip connoisseurs, coin flip amateurs mid laner. Although I should say it's for coin flip connoisseurs because it's his performances in the last event that have brought him here. He played the legal minimum required amount of 4 games in his role to be eligible for All Pro. He lost 3 of them. 2 of those 3 losses were to people in the voting below him, and in the other games he played that weren't those 4 legal mid lane games, he was playing bot or top. Like against Latitude, they put him in the bot lane to try and mitigate Humble, right? And he wasn't able to do that either. But again, Sinstinct is a very skilled player. For a lot of people's money, he is the best player in the entire tournament from what I hear from the high LMR players. But for his performance in the event, like actually in the officials, I think this is I'm calling fraud watch, but like, you know, I hope we see him come in and back up what he's earned here in summer. If he makes a return, I'd love to see him on a main roster playing mid the entire time in a team that maybe facilitates him more so that they can get a little bit further than that 5th to 8th place finish, because I know that he's worth it. I know he's good enough, but the problem is that the performances on the Rift in this specific event, if we're just looking at what happened now over the last 8 weeks, I don't think he should have even been in the top 3. But, you know, the people spoke. The people voted for who they wanted. And with 43 points, Instinct is your 1st place All-Pro mid laner. So congratulations to Instinct. Alongside Mr. Clisty, Bipolar Sunshine, Humble V9, and White Saturn. Strong team, honestly. I'd like to see that team play as a 5. I think they could do serious damage. I mean, it wouldn't be legal, for one. It wouldn't be legal in a MiniLCS, but, you know, let's get them over in, like, UKEL or something, or like a Prime League or something. I think they could be very fun to watch, but either way, we have one more thing to get through, and then we are done. I get to take these headphones off. Ever since my head's been bald, wearing over-ear headphones makes my ears really fucking warm, because it's like... Really? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's weird, because like they don't have hair around it, so they're not, like, I don't know, they just feel weird. So it's a weird one, but yeah. I think this one's going to be cut and dry, to be honest with you. I'm sure everybody in the chat probably knows who it is already, but let's give him the rigmarole anyway. Let's hit the fucking drum roll.
And the winner of the Sweat Lords MVP is Humble V9 with 64 points.
Yeah, I think that one was, again, in the same way that Pizzazz was insane in the hard stuck bracket. I think that Humble V9 was genuinely one of the strongest people we've maybe ever seen walk through the MiniLCS. His ability on that bot lane carry there to be able to kind of drag his team across the finish line in some instances and just dominate lanes as well. He was, yeah, I think inarguably one of the best players in this event. And a large part of the reason why his team was even able to go to 5 games up against Cutter's Cuties, you know, he had consistent leads in that bot lane with White Satin every single game of all 5 of those games. And yeah, big shout out there to Humble V9. Congratulations on winning the split MVP for Sweat Lord bracket in Winter Open of 2026. You may have not got the trophy for winning the entire split, but you showed off to everybody who was watching, and yeah, looked insanely dominant. So we hope to see him back here in summer if possible. We'll see if he can maybe take that, you know, with the Cutter's Cuties. They're supposed to be gone, you know. This is what they said. They said that that's their final hurrah. That was their last dance. So they got the 3-peat, and apparently they ain't coming back. So with the absence of the Cuties, I think that everything is for the taking if Humble V9 and Latitude do decide to come back. But we'll have to keep an eye out on it, keep our finger on the pulse, and see whether or not they bring it back. Because at least if some of the players return, I think we could see some really good gameplay from all of them.
Oh, definitely. With that, thank you everyone for voting for your all-pro teams. We couldn't have these awards without you, and hopefully we can see some of these teams, you know, play together in some, you know, friendly competition in between whilst we set up the summer invitational.
Is that you baiting out what's supposed to be happening after this? Is that you dropping the all right, cool, yeah, let's get out of the way then.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys will know that we sent out the feelers to see whether or not people wanted an in-house queue. It is an idea that people have been floating a lot around, and obviously with the kind of beginning of Runeterra Rising coming as well, Tuba's new tournament coming in the near future, we've decided to partner up with them to actually have an in-house queue in server for the next 2 or so months. So the planned season is going to be from now until the end of May. We're going to be probably having at least some moderators around every Wednesday, and I'll try to do every Thursday as well, because those are my days off, to try and make sure we have some dedicated customs going every week to make sure people can get some points. There's going to be prize support as well. So I wrote it all out so that I wouldn't forget it. So the official prize support, and we'll put a post out that has all of this info in there. It will go into a channel for in-houses called In-Houses Announcements. The season will end at the end of May. First, second, and third place in each bracket will all be getting a skin. So if you place first in your bracket, you'll get a legendary skin. If you place second in your bracket, you'll get an epic skin. And if you place third in your bracket, you'll get a non-epic skin. This will also, though, require you to play a prerequisite amount of games. So the prerequisite amount of games we're putting on it is 30 for the 2 months, because we want to make sure that this thing is active. So if you want to try and earn those skins, you are getting those customs every week and catch some games when they're going, because that's how it's going to be. We're going to add to this list, but currently the only ones we have that are non-competitive based awards is we're going to have the first player who gets 30 games in each of their brackets will get a skin. So even if you're not winning every game, even if you're not, you know, stacking LP, if you're in the server making sure games are happening and you're the first person to hit 30, then you'll get a skin for it. Same, we're going to have first person to win a game on all 5 individual roles will get a skin. So if you're someone who's particularly flexible, you know you're good in every role, then you flex that in the queue. You know, we're going to need people to fill holes in the in-houses, because realistically, there's always going to be those ones where it's like, we have 8 players or 9 players, or we have 10 players, but only no supports because it's 3 junglers. And in those instances, this is where we want to reward you guys for being active and being kind of present, right? So that's where those awards are coming in for. And like I said, as there will be more awards that will come in over time as we kind of solidify it, but all of this has kind of been a little bit thrown together. So I believe Gekno has made everything live right now, so it's gonna be an interesting one for sure. But for you to actually sign up for the in-houses, which should be going live today, should be going live tonight, submit a ticket on the channel, of which I will drop a link for you guys to join the Discord. But if you drop a ticket for us, yeah, you're right, Misko, the in-houses do have more awards than the actual league tournament. It's kind of crazy, right? Look, man, we want to make sure it succeeds, so that's why we're putting a little bit of cash behind it, you know. But yeah, there's the Discord link for anybody who's just joined in the Twitch chat and wants to get a part of these in-houses. I'm gonna see how this goes, because I think it should be an interesting one. We want to try and make sure that people stay active in the server between now and summer while we cook up new rules and we cook up new kind of plans. You know, we need to break down that feedback form that all of you guys filled out. We got like 40 people filling out that feedback form, by the way. Big thank you to everybody that filled that one out. Wait, Eunice says, if I speak, I'm in trouble. Huh? Yo. Huh? Oh, we talk about the trophy, the IRL trophies. Look, right? Those IRL trophies exist. They are in Aaron's house.
One sec. I'll go grab it. You can carry on.
Yeah, they exist. They are actually there. He's just painting them, and then as soon as they're done painting, I will be shipping them. So I will be in people's DMs as soon as they're in my hands, so that I can go to work and steal a bunch of packing materials to ship them. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. There we go. Here comes Aaron with the. There we go. So this is the Summer Invitational 2025 ones. The Winter Open ones will be similar color to that down there. It's gonna look like that for the Winter Open ones. But yeah, the summer ones obviously is bronze color because it is summer. So, and those are, I think we had 9 printed because it was 9 people that wanted them. So they're all ready to go. We're just painting them and getting them ready, and we'll kind of stick them all together because I think right now they are in still being assembled. So yeah, they exist. They very much exist, and they very much will be going out. I see someone say if they knew they were getting an IRL trophy, they would have try-harded way more. That's what summer's for, Mogshon. That's what summer's for, bro. Get yourself a summer trophy next split, We'll have to see you there. But yeah, I think that's us done. So unless there's anything else you have to add, Aaron?
No. Just keep an eye on the social channels, be it basically Discord right now, for any future upcoming events. Definitely keep an eye out for when we ping out to everyone about the Summer Invitational dates. Will come soon-ish. And yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for participating. We really appreciate it.
So it's like, there's trophies? What the hell?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
They exist. Look.
I was gonna say the summer ones haven't gone out yet. The winter ones, who knows how long we're gonna be waiting? But they exist. They're real.
I've been bugged by my other half to actually sort this out.
Hell yeah.
So that she can.
She's sick of having a random box in the house all day. Yeah? Just like
she
sitting there.
Yes. But also she wants to finish the paint job on them.
Fair. The winners will get sent a PNG of the trophy. Holy shit. I mean, it depends. Yeah. We said that it depends on if you're willing to pay shipping. Like Brexit means Brexit, so that means that sending these trophies out is not cheap. Because most of you guys live in Europe. If you live in the UK, I did say you would get free shipping because I still work retail, so I can still ship UK. alongside all of the random shit that we send him where I work. But if you live in Europe, we don't ship internationally, so unfortunately you will have to pay that. But we will organize that when the trophies are actually ready to go. But yeah,
unless you come visit the UK, then we'll give it to you.
Yeah, that's true. We're supposed to be doing that for Potato, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and well, I mean, Church of Copium Kings are also, you know, they won. Mahasvara, he only lives in Belgium. He might come down. You never know. Does he get an award? He didn't play a game in finals, but does he get one? I think he should.
Yeah, he'll get one.
He did all their draft and shit, so you know.
Hey, South Africa. South Africa is actually okay. We can send it there. It's whenever. It's basically whenever my uncle comes over, then I can just give it to him. I got connections in some places, all right? Some places, you know, that are far, we can maybe do, but some we can't.
Fair. But yeah, sweet. I think other than that, we are all good to cut it there, I think. So yeah, we will we'll make an announcement within the hour about the in-house queue. I'm gonna need to hit up Gekno, who is currently setting it up, and yeah, there will be a post in announcements before the end of today with the setup and with all the information regarding it. Obviously all the stuff we just announced here will all go out, so yeah. And like I said, once it is all ready to go, all you will need to do to actually take part is just submit a ticket that says that you are interested, with all of the same details that were in the register interest form that we had before. And we should be good. But yeah, other than that, I think we're good to cut out. We appreciate you all for being here, sitting here listening to us yap for 2 hours and 2 minutes. And what do you mean give me one for free? Are you gonna give me my hair back, Chris? What do you mean give me a trophy for free, bro? Give me that 40 euros someone sent you on the day of finals, bro. What do you mean? Unbelievable. The audacity of some of these people, bro. Can you believe it? But anyway, without DM me PayPal, crazy. But yeah, I think that's us, right?
No, that is it. If you did miss a stream, it will be available as a VOD and will be on YouTube. Just as with all the games that were in playoffs, they will be uploaded to YouTube, our YouTube channel, the MiniLCS, in due time. But yeah, that's about it. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for everyone for participating. Congratulations to everyone that won an award, and everyone that actually won the tournament and actually is going to get a physical award at some point in their lifetime. And we'll see you
in their lifetime is a low bar, bro.
And we'll see you on the next stream.